Welcome, everybody, to Friday night football here in Bettendorf, Iowa, Tuvell Stadium. This is Family Ties Production, Channel 38, TCI. And I'd like to welcome back this week, I'm Cy Robinson. I'd like to welcome back TJ Rubley with us again, and along with cameraman and producer Jess Medina. Well, we got a big battle tonight, TJ. One of the great rivalries in the MAC conference.
I agree. And as we talked, what better situation to have a rivalry than two schools on a cold winter day that can see each other?
That's right.
And that, to me, is a natural grounds for a rivalry. And tonight we're going to see a great shootout between two great quarterbacks. You have Seth Holmes for Bettendorf, of course, and then Trent Mauser for Pleasant Valley. It should be a very good contest tonight.
Trent Mauser, all-conference quarterback last year, and in the MAC conference, and we had a little accident here in front of us. I think we lost a camera out the door, but other than that, everything's just fine, TJ.
Yeah, it wasn't ours, thank God.
Luckily, it wasn't our camera.
That's right. That's right.
Anyhow, we got about a minute and 40 here until kickoff time, and as I started to say before, you talk just a minute about the kids that Bettendorf lost last year. Zambrano, the big tackle, Adam Fay, the big tackle, went to Northwestern on scholarship, Chad Burke, a guard, Kinsler and in and DB, Nate Numkina, the fine LB and fullback. So they lost some really good people. Pleasant Valley lost the Chris Anthony, the great wide receiver, walked on at Iowa State. Brian Schertz, the fine lineman, offensive guard and D tackle. So they lost some good people too, but they've been able to replace them. And I think we're going to have some battles on our hands tonight. With some more, what they do, these two teams, I think they reload their linemen.
I think they have to. I mean, you're looking at two great programs, and it seems like they put out 2 or 3 Division I prospects every year.
Seems that way.
Pleasant Valley has an outstanding program, and what can you say about Coach Hobnick? He's been doing this for year after year after year.
For sure.
If he has the talent, he wins state. If he doesn't have the talent, then he makes a run in the playoffs.
Right.
And that's about as bad as they get here in Bettendorf. So
that's for sure.
Pleasant Valley going, I believe, 11-1 last year. Obviously, they have a program that you can't dispute either. This will be my first game watching Pleasant Valley. I think they entered the MAC after my existence and after I graduated and went to the University of Tulsa. So
and we argued about that a while ago.
That's right.
I guess they haven't been here as long as I thought they have. But anyhow, yeah, we're going back to Merv Hobnick, obviously the dean of coaches in the MAC conference, and Ed Morrissey from Pleasant Valley. It's Ed's 19th year. It's Merv Hobnick's 27th year coming on. He's had a great record here at Bettendorf.
He sure has, and I think the only other coach in the MAC that we're familiar with will be Coach Fox over at Central, you could say have any type of legacy. And Coach Hobnick's not only responsible for his own kids getting scholarships, but also kids of other schools.
That's right. Okay, we've had the kickoff, and we've had the run back by Brad Munoz from Bettendorf already, and he's tackled up at about the 19-yard line, so Bettendorf's going to take over, 1st and 10 on their own 19, and to set Bettendorf, the Bettendorf lineup for now, the skill people at quarterback, we'll see Seth Holmes, number 3, and he's in the huddle calling the play right now. And out comes center Nick Levson, the junior center. And Bettendorf's in there, looks like a slot formation, split left, tight right, I. And a little inside trap. Going to go for about a tough 3 yards.
I tell you what, Bettendorf, what they're trying to do is establish the line of scrimmage early. It's the same old Bettendorf, and if my experience serves me right, that grass is going to be probably pretty tall down there to conducive for the running game, and Bettendorf's just going to try to take over with their line and make this game a grudge match.
Right. That was Ryan Herrig, the ball carrier, number 43 for Bettendorf. So that brings up a 2nd and 7, and we got a split right formation, double tights, and Holmes rolls out to his right to throw. He's going to keep it all the way and probably get pretty close to first down marker.
Exactly. That was a nice job by Seth Holmes. I think, Coach, that was a designed option, and it was a great play by the defensive end or outside linebacker for Pleasant Valley, forcing it wide, making it look like a rollout. Holmes did a nice job, kept the ball, got around the end, showed great speed. Not only as you saw the speed that he has right there, but he's also the leading passer in the conference. Had a great week last week, and if he can combine the option with running the offense and throwing the ball, we should see an exciting evening tonight from him.
You bet. Eisenhower, Holmes just kind of took off. Eisenhower was in Pitt's relationship for about 5 steps, and then Holmes just kind of left him.
I think he outran him.
I think he saw that first down marker, and he was gone.
Exactly right.
All right, first down, a ball on the Bettendorf 30. Holmes What is he, back in the shotgun
He sure
formation?
is. Two
Ruth?
tight ends with a shotgun.
Here we go, Hobb.
That's right.
Oh, and that ball's thrown to number 88, split in Justin Siefkin, and it's complete up at the 40-yard line. That's pretty close to first down.
It sure is, and that's a nice controlled pass. Seth Holmes got back in the shotgun, just took 2 quick steps. That's another way to get rid of the ball quickly. No sacks, no negative plays, and Bettendorf's continuing to move the chains forward.
Well, Coach Hobenek diversifying a little bit here. Comes right out in that gun here in about the second or third series.
That's right, a la Don Shula. You have to be able to change as the years go on.
All right. Okay, here we go. Now we got trips to the far side, tight left, single running back, and it's the pitch to number 43, Brian Herrig again, and he'll get a first down.
I think you can see Bettendorf, what they're doing is trying to formation Pleasant Valley now to create the mismatches that they want at this point. If they're not getting the mismatches they want, they're still going to run their plays, good conservative plays, and they seem to be well-designed plays against each front and each defense.
Okay, we've seen 3 or 4 different formations from Bettendorf. Interesting. All right, we got a straight slot formation this time, tight end left, I formation, split right. And this is the little outside kick-out block to Eisenlauer, and he's going to go up to about midfield. Nice block by the fullback there, Ryan Herrig, number 43.
Exactly right. And that was a nice, tough run inside. Able to get his shoulder pad level low and actually put some punishment on the Pleasant Valley defense. Pleasant Valley on the defensive side has to come up with a stop here.
That's right.
Bettendorf's been had their way and has been able to move the ball down the field. Now it's time for Pleasant Valley crossing midfield here that they need to go ahead and get a big stop.
Okay. Holmes breaks him out of the huddle. Now we got 2 tights again, a kind of a split back set. Just a straight dive. Ooh, nice hit.
That's a great hit, and that's a stop that Pleasant Valley's defense needed at this point.
You bet.
They lined up in a 5-3 defense, leaving 3 defensive backs left over. Anytime you put 8 men in the box, it's going to be tough to run against that, and Pleasant Valley came up with a great play.
All right, tackled by Jim Miller, returning defensive tackle for PV, 5'11", 210 senior. Nice job.
Exactly.
So that'll bring up a 3rd and about 4. And Levson brings them out of the huddle. Holmes now under center. We got a flanker right and an I formation this time. Oops. And we're going to have an offside penalty on Bettendorf. Tight end number 88 got a little anxious there, TJ. Yep. Justin Siefkin.
That's right, Justin Siefkin. He was excited about the 3rd and 4 play. Unfortunately, now it's going to be 3rd and 9. This is a time Seth Holmes really needs to come up big, but he can't force it. Field position, if you punt the ball away, you're still winning the game field position war, so go ahead and take what the defense will give you. If it's tight, just go ahead and throw the ball away, let your punter do the work, and put your defense on the field.
I agree. High formation, flanker right, double tights, and we're going to have a timeout called by quarterback Holmes here, and I think this would be a good time, TJ, for us to set the linemen for both teams. So let me go ahead and do that at the quarterback position. We mentioned Seth Holmes, Eisenlauer at tail. At the flanker position, Joe Pecora, number 27. At tight end, Eric Jessen, number 39. We mentioned him. Fullback Ryan Herrig. At center is Nick Levson, number 53. At one guard, number 61, Dale Tetmeyer. At the other guard, number 63, Brian Weber. At one offensive tackle, Chris Willie. And at the other OT, number 78, John Anderson. And at the split end, number 88, Justin Siefkin. Okay, we're back in action here. We got a 3rd and 10 now. Holmes back in the gun formation again. Split all over the field. Back to throw, nice throw, he's open. Oh, good defensive play.
Exactly, that was a great defensive play by Pleasant Valley for the corner. What had happened is the outside receivers for Bettendorf ran curl routes at about 15 yards. The inside tight ends and the double tight set out of the shotgun ran flats and turned it up on the go routes, and they tried to get the corner sleeping a little bit there, sinking back in on the curl route. It didn't happen, and a nice play by the corner.
You bet. That's Jay Thomason, number 28, made the play there. It looked like Siefkin was open there for a second.
He sure was. Seth Holmes may have just laid that ball up a little too much. Maybe if he puts a little more on it, he has a throw.
Right. All right, we got Holmes back to punt here from his own 35-yard line. And it's going to take a Bettendorf hop, and they're not going to get a run back here. That ball is going to be down by Eisenlauer at the 15-yard line. and PV's going to take it over.
All in all, though, for Seth Holmes, that wasn't a bad third down play. He threw the ball basically where it couldn't be intercepted. Once again, he's the punter, was able to use himself as a weapon there on fourth down to play field position football, backing Pleasant Valley up to the 15. Now Pleasant Valley has 85 yards to go, and the ball's in their court. So from Seth Holmes' point of view, put the onus on your defense here and make Pleasant Valley make plays on the road.
You bet. Keep them down in the end here. All right, Dave Breezer, the center, brings about number 68, and this is quarterback Trent Mauser, number 13, returning all-conference quarterback. We got looks like a slot formation. This is a straight give to Kundert, I believe, number 32. And J.R. Kundert is a workhorse type running back. He's like a Lee Russell,
exactly.
That kind of back from Assumption, and
boy, that was exciting last week. If he's half the player Lee Russell is, we're in for a great night.
Yes. Good skill people. Pleasant Valley always has them. Tight end is Matt Luttrell, number 83. Kevin Hansen, I believe, number 14 is the other running back out there. And wing back is Salthan, I believe. I better get a number here first. Little kick out block for not too many yards there on the second 5 play.
I think the second effort got him about 5 yards there, Coach. So we're going to be close to 3rd and 1
here. He came off that and picked up some pretty good yards there. I was looking at my program already.
He sure did. That's a great indication of his balance and staying low and being able to fight through, and he's not going to quit. And I think from Pleasant Valley's team standpoint, you need that type of effort when you come to Bettendorf on the road.
I think so, too. All right, we got a 3rd and 1 here. We'll see what they come up with. Bettendorf, year in, year out, will be in a base 5-2 defense, and they'll make a couple adjustments from it. They just play hard-nosed defensive football.
They really do, and they will beat you up from a defensive standpoint.
Smash mouth, I think they call it.
Yeah, exactly. The linebackers are up in the line showing blitz. They're trying to put all 7 in there for the short run.
Ooh, and that is Kundert on the ball carrier, and he'll get a first down up across the 25 to about the 27, it looks like.
That was great, tough running. That's just man versus man, and Pleasant Valley matched the challenge here. And Kundert made a great run, keeping his shoulders low. Second effort, you see him touch the ground there as he ran forward for the first down. So an outstanding play.
Yeah, we talk about pads low all the time.
Exactly.
I know we talked about it a lot last week, and it's no different in this battle.
You're exactly, and probably more so this battle because the ball may not get up in the air too much.
That's right. All right, wing formation, just a straight dive to Hansen, and he's smashed up pretty good there. Looks like by number 70 from Bettendorf, Brian Gerskis, the big defensive tackle out there. Gerskis, senior, 6'2", 215.
That was outstanding line surge by Bettendorf's defensive front. There just wasn't any place to go, and it just seemed like Pleasant Valley got off the ball late there. There might have been a mix-up in the cadence.
Could be.
Either that or maybe the quarterback adjusted his cadence a little bit, and either way, it seemed like the left side of Pleasant Valley's line got off a little late.
I thought so also. Okay, out of the huddle. Mauser brings them out. It's a real tight formation here. Wing right. Little crossbuck action, and Kundert. No, it's not. Let's see, number 42 that time. I better get in the program, TJ, and find out who 42 is. That's Severin Nelson, was it?
Yeah,
yes.
Sure was.
All right.
Number 54, Ryan McGiver, made a great play from Bettendorf there.
He did.
He's the outside linebacker. He saw the trap coming and just lowered the shoulder and created the train wreck, forcing the back to get inside, and that's where his help is. And the rest of the Bettendorf defensive front was able to make the play.
Good play. Looked like it was going to be busted up at first, but
sure did.
Severin was going to come off of it and make a few yards out of it. All right, 3rd and 6. Slot right formation, kind of an offset eye, and rolling out, Mauser to his left. There's the throw, wide open downfield. Number 83 has got it down there, and that is Matt Luttrell, the tight end, TJ.
That's a great play. It was a little misdirection. They sent the wing back in motion a little bit, faked the inside running play. The outside linebacker for Bettendorf got sucked in a little bit and hooked, allowed Mauser to get outside. The beautiful corner out by the tight end, and Mauser just laid it in perfectly. Outstanding play.
You bet. Just a crossing pattern, kind of a dragging up, it looked like, by the tight end.
Exactly right. I think Aaron Pickett, the defensive back for Bettendorf, may have gotten his eyes into the backfield a little too long there, which is tough when you run 2 or 3 different play fakes out of that. So it was an outstanding play by Pleasant Valley.
All right, first down on the Bettendorf 29. Big play, slot right formation, split backs. Little quick draw here by Mauser, and he's brought down in the backfield by number 44 from Bettendorf. And that is Abe Blair, the linebacker to the Abe Blair being a sophomore also. So
yeah, that's a great play by a sophomore. It almost looked like that was a broken play from the beginning, Coach. I don't know if maybe the blitzing linebacker forced Mauser to make a different decision, or if he came through the hole that the play was designed to run through. But either way, he did a nice job of only making it a 2-yard loss instead of running back and creating a.
I agree. He was trying to get up the field a little bit anyway.
Exactly.
Okay, wide slide formation, split backs again. Here comes a little razzle play, and I'll tell you what, I got faked out because I thought number 42 had the ball again, and looked like number 10 wound up with that Scott Salfin coming from his flanker position.
I even thought that was a fumble a little bit. I saw the ball on the back of the hip of Scott Salfin, and I thought the ball was on the ground. And,
I did too.
I don't know if the Bettendorf players thought either. I think half went with the first tailback and the other half went with the second.
Right. And I looked like number 35 there from Bettendorf. Weston Kieschnick made himself a play, but he had a player, but he didn't have the ball.
That's right.
All right. Salfin in the slot. Split backs. Here's Mauser. Fakes the give. A little play action pass, and nobody there. And he's going to be sacked back at the 35-yard line.
And that was a great play by the Bettendorf secondary. That was a cover sack. Pleasant Valley elected to only send 2 receivers out in the pass route, banking on the play fake to hold the linebackers in. The linebackers did a great job of getting back, but the corners really played the route very well there. Outstanding job by the secondary from Bettendorf.
All right, 4th down and 15, we'll say, and the ball is on the Bettendorf just across the 35, about the 35-yard line. So we'll see what Coach Morrissey comes up with here. And they're going to go for this. They're in the 4-down territory here, I guess.
I agree. And, Coach, we talked last week. I would like to see Trent Mauser throw that ball away. You know, inside the red zone, just get into good habits.
Oh, somebody's open down there. If he caught that, that's going to be a 1st down, and he did catch it. And that was number 21, I believe, from Pleasant Valley. Dave Gendelsberger, the split end onto that side.
Outstanding throw by Trent Mauser. He dropped back, took a firm 5-step drop, let the receiver develop, and the receiver made a nice play of getting enough yardage for the 1st down, ran the outside curl route, and it's just a great throw by Mauser. That was a nice strike.
He's got a good arm.
Yes, he does.
All right, 1st down on the Bettendorf 15-yard line. Mauser, little draw play in there, looked like, kind of faking the throw back there. They're going to pick up a tough, they're going to pick up 5 yards on the play there.
And that's an outstanding 5 yards because Bettendorf seemed to go to their man defense and pack in their red zone defense there. There were 8 men around the ball playing man across the board, meaning the free safety has the tight end man coverage. And Pleasant Valley just rammed it down their throat. And I think Bettendorf wants Pleasant Valley to try to throw to get the ball in the end zone here.
I believe so, too.
But the way that line surge was there, it looks like they're going to go ahead and keep running it.
Pleasant Valley, nice job up there by Jim Miller, O-guard, Jeff Taney, O-guard. We'll set the rest of them here pretty quick. Dave Breezer at center. All right, slot formation. Mauser gives the 1st man through, I believe, or was it 2nd man through, number 42, I believe, Severin Nelson again.
That was a great play by Pleasant Valley once again. Bettendorf had brought a linebacker blitz to the side of the dive there, and yet they still were able to get 3 yards just in line surge alone. So right now, Bettendorf's offensive line is playing very, very good football.
Pleasant Valley lineman, I'm not sure who coaches their lineman over there, and I apologize that I can't mention his name here, but their linemen always get off the ball, and they're always low.
You're right. I think I said Bettendorf's lineman. I meant Pleasant Valley's.
Yeah,
They right now are playing very, very good football.
3rd and 1, slot right. And they're going to get an easy 1st down out of that because I think a Bettendorf defensive end jumped offside.
I think he did, and they were packed in once again. They had 9 guys around the line of scrimmage, and they were going to try to stop Pleasant Valley, a key 3rd and 1 play, and just a key mistake by one of the Bettendorf players. Go ahead and jumping off sides, getting a little overzealous.
Just got anxious, wasn't watching the football, and you might get, Mauser's a pretty experienced quarterback, and a quarterback voice inflection has a lot to do with that at times. As an offensive lineman and as a quarterback, we're both aware of that.
Exactly right.
All right, so we got a 1st and goal at the 4. Mauser gives to Kundert, I believe. Kundert's going to get up to about the 3-yard line, 2-yard line. And it's going to be 2nd and goal.
You know, Coach, those runs look like they're for nothing, and that's a compliment to Pleasant Valley's offensive line. That means they're getting pushed off the ball before the Bettendorf defenders are getting a chance to hit the Pleasant Valley running backs.
That's a fact for sure. All right, 2nd goal. We'll see if Ed Morrissey wants to pound the ball in there, and you're going to have to take a timeout here because, or was it quarter time? Oh, I'm sorry, it's 2 seconds. Boy, that quarter went fast.
That went real fast.
The clock was hardly shut off that for that quarter, that whole quarter. All right, we got a 0-0 ball game here. Pleasant Valley right now, as we come back in 2nd quarter, is going to be threatening at the Bettendorf 2-yard line, and we'll take a break. Welcome back to MAC football, 2nd quarter, 0-0. Pleasant Valley threatening at the Bettendorf 2-yard line. Mauser under center. We got a, looks like a wishbone formation there, and that's going to be a touch. And Kunder goes in from the 2-yard line, just plowed his way to the right side, TJ.
Oh, he sure did. And Bettendorf had enough helmets, and they had a good defense called for the play. It's just Pleasant Valley's offensive line just took control. And then give credit Kundert. There was a man free in the hole, and he just lowered his head and got the ball in the end zone.
They did. That was a nice job. And, of course, with that formation, you got a lot of people going a lot of different directions, and it's hard for defensive linemen to key the people they need to key because of all that action, I think.
Not to mention the linebackers that are supposed to scrape into the hole. But Kundert, I like the way he runs. He keeps his shoulders low. You see his feet driving at the end, and it almost reminds you of a
good one.
Of some type of wheel spinning at the end because his feet are constantly moving. It's an outstanding run.
Excuse me for interrupting you. That's Thomason on the extra point, so J.R. Kundert on the 2-yard touchdown run, and Thomason on the PAT makes a score, 7-0 Pleasant Valley with 4 seconds gone here in the 2nd quarter.
Other than, Coach, the line surge of Pleasant Valley, like we talked about, I can't help but to think back to the big play Trent Mosier made on the 3rd and 15, and that was an outstanding throw he made, and he set up like a veteran quarterback that he is, like an all-conference player, and showed that he deserves that honor, and he's playing like it tonight. And anytime you can take your first drive on the road at Bettendorf into the end zone, that's an outstanding, outstanding job.
You bet. That's a fine job by the Pleasant Valley offense right there, punching that ball over down there from the 2. And we're lined up here, and this will be number 21. Who's that kicking off for them?
Number 21.
Gimmelsberger. Okay. All right, ball picked up down there by number 1 from Bettendorf again. That's Bruce Munoz, the deep back, and he's tackled rather quickly. And that's going to bring the ball to the 25-yard, just across the 25, first down. We'll see what Bettendorf comes up with here offensively.
I think, I'm sure Coach Obnick has told his offensive line, now it's your turn to take control. And I'm sure they're going to do what they can to establish a line of scrimmage here. And it's time for Seth Holmes now to really settle down, come into his zone, and show that he's the veteran leader that he is.
That's right. All right. Levson on the ball, out of the huddle first to set things up. Here comes Seth Holmes, number 3, the quarterback. We got a I formation, flanker right, double tights. And Holmes back to throw. Got a lot of time, TJ.
He sure does.
Good hit up there, and this is number 39 for Bettendorf on the reception. Eric Jessen, the big tight end, and they'll pick up 5 on that. 4.
That's right. And Bettendorf, that's the second time they tried to, actually third time they tried to use their tight end. This time they sent the tight end on the curl and sent the back up the boundary, trying to get the big one. The tight end was open. Nice job by Seth Holmes of being patient. Sat in the pocket well, had all day to throw like you mentioned. Great job by the Bettendorf offensive line. Delivered a strike. And it was a very good play for Bettendorf, not to mention they did it on first down, which will help their running game as the game goes on.
You bet. And he's got a rifle for an arm, it appears. Okay, we got a twins formation, tight right. Here's a quick pitch out to Eisenhower, and he's immediately brought down by number 24 for Pleasant Valley, Mike Seavey, the nose.
That's a great play by Mike Seavey. Bettendorf tried to formation to the wide side of the field and run a short, quick sweep back to their bench here. Great job by Pleasant Valley of staying home.
It really was. And we've mentioned before, there's some real exceptional defensive teams in the league, and Pleasant Valley is always one of them.
Yeah, they seem to be. They're running a 6-2 defense here, playing 3 deep a lot, and they're moving people in and out of the nose, and that always creates havoc anytime for offensive linemen. And once again, I think our timeout there that was just taken was because they shifted into a front that maybe Bettendorf hasn't talked about into that given formation.
That's true. And not only that, I think Bettendorf had a couple of people out of place in whatever formation that was.
Well, I thought that was a timeout by Seth Holmes, but they called it delay of game.
Oh, they did.
They sure did. Either that or illegal shifting.
5 yard, was it 5 yard penalty? I wasn't.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, delay a game before the timeout.
Right.
As Jess Medina
appreciate
so
that.
wisely volunteered the information.
Somebody's got to be on top of it here, don't they? All right. We got a 3rd and 15. Holmes back in the shotgun again. Snap is back. Quite a bit of time to throw, and open receiver is that number 26 is Eisenhower out there, and he's pretty close to the first down.
That's an outstanding play by Seth Holmes. What Bettendorf tried to do offensively is they got in the shotgun to give him a little more time. They took the outside receivers, ran curl routes, and the inside receivers to try the out and up again. This time, instead of throwing the out and up, he threw the curl route. Beautiful, beautiful strike.
Threw it to the middle.
He sure did.
Right. Now we got a 4th and 1. Coach Hobnick, you going to go for it here?
It looks like he is.
On his own 35-yard line? No. Holmes is back in front formation.
That's a little tricky on us because Holmes is a punter.
Yeah, it's pretty early in the game for that.
Yeah.
Okay. Holmes back to punt. Snap is back, and pretty good kick by Holmes. Fair catch signaled down there by number 28 from Pleasant Valley, Jay Thomason.
Jay Thomason made a great play there, Coach. Understanding you're on the road, fair catch the ball. Don't let special teams come into play here. Let's get the ball at the 35-yard line, which isn't bad field position, and let our offensive line take over because they seem to be dictating the tempo of the game right now.
Again, showing the typical Pleasant Valley disciplined ball team, I believe.
Exactly right. Any punt returner wants to take it all the way every time, but it's great discipline and great heads-up play on his part, and the special teams coach for that matter.
That's true. Okay. Mauser breaks him out of the huddle. Here comes PV up the ball. They're taking it over 1st and 10 on their own 35. Kind of an offset I formation slot, and here's a little crisscross in the backfield, and see who's got the ball there. It looked like Hansen on the ball, brought down almost immediately by number 35 from Bettendorf, Weston Kishnick, the defensive end.
Great play by Weston Kishnick. He didn't fall for the misdirection in the backfield. He stayed home, played his assignment the way it was supposed to be played, met the running back right in the hole. Great play.
So Pleasant Valley is trying a little bit of quick misdirection, but we haven't seen anything of length like a counter or that kind of thing.
Exactly. I think the only thing we've seen like that was that quick double handoff that you and I both are confused on.
Yeah. Okay. Now we got them widened out, and here's a quick opener by Kundert up the left side, and he's going to get a first down here, I believe.
Pleasant Valley right there, lined up in the offset wishbone, brought their wingback back in the backfield to create misdirection and ran the trap where the wingback came from. Outstanding play, and Kundert is tough to know. Not only does he run low, which, I'll love him till forever because of the way he runs the ball, but being that low, you don't know if he has the ball or not.
That's right.
So that's an outstanding job on his part.
You notice also the tight splits we're looking at right now. That time Pleasant Valley had 4-foot line splits easily, or maybe even 2 yards. All right, here's the give to Hansen up the middle again, and he'll go for no gain. Number 42 for Bettendorf met him there, and number 44. Terry Walters, a linebacker, and 44 is Abe Blair. Both linebackers met him for
That's a nice job by Terry Walters on a little isolation play. Usually isolation plays are designed to isolate the fullback on the linebacker. It didn't seem to bother him there.
Wasn't going to happen, was it?
Exactly. He stuck the fullback and was able to make the play right in the hole.
Okay, we're going to have a 2nd and 10, no gain. It's Pleasant Valley's ball on their own 47. We got a 7-0 ball game. Pleasant Valley Mauser breaks them out. They're in the tight formation again, wing right, split backs. Bettendorf on the backed off 52. Here's a quick pitch out to number 42, and he fumbled the ball. All right, the quick pitch, TJ, was out to number 42, Severin Nelson. He gained about 10 yards and fumbled it, and I didn't see who picked it up. Did you catch it?
Yeah, I sure did.
All
Jason
right.
Mullen, number
Very
21,
good.
picked it up for Bettendorf. Pleasant Valley tried the old elephant sweep or the student body right with a quarterback leading, and running back made a great play up the middle. It's just outstanding hitting by the Bettendorf defense.
That's
and we
right.
talked about that their defense will beat you up. And unless you pay attention and really hang on to the football, they'll get some turnovers out of you.
That's right. That's what happens. Okay, first big turnover of the game. All right, Bettendorf's ball on their own 43. Here's the give to the Eisenhower, and he'll gain about 5 on the isolation play to the right side, looked like.
This is a key time for Seth Holmes now, because your crowd just got into it with a turnover at midfield. Now it's important as a quarterback that you're somewhat conservative, but yet you do want to take the risk, because this is an important time to get your team moving.
That's right.
If there's a turning point available for you as a quarterback in the game, now is the time.
And the ball's on the 50-yard line almost. Anything in their playbook, they can have it here.
Exactly right. Second and 5 is exactly what the offensive coordinator wants. So you can run, throw, or go play action.
High formation, wide slot. Holmes rolls right and gives to, I believe, Eisenhower for no gain. A good defensive play down there by number 67. I believe that's Miller again from his defensive tackle spot.
Boy, outstanding play by Jim Miller. He made a great play, and especially when we talked about Bettendorf needing a key time and a key time in the game for them. It's a great job of him making a big play to try to shut that momentum down, to try to halt Bettendorf and their crowd from getting into it and taking the home field advantage. Outstanding job by Jim Miller.
That's right. Okay, 3rd and 8. Bringing up a 3rd and 8. And here comes Levson out again.
We've got our trips formation to the near side here, Coach.
Yep. A lot of receivers over here. And what we got, a delay?
I believe so. It seems like that. When the referees are playing with their watches, it usually seems like
when they're checking the time, they're not looking to to see what time their tea time is. That's
right. And it is tricky for quarterbacks at the high school level, because they don't have the advantage of play clocks like you see at college or in the NFL. So it's hard for them always. And a lot of times when you're doing different formations and running different things out of each formation, the verbiage gets quite long.
And I think I know that would be just super expensive, but I like to see play clocks.
I do too. I would at least one. At least one on each side would be great.
All right, shotgun is 3rd and 13, and there's Holmes throwing it out, and it's a reception and that's Eisenhower again for the first down, Coach.
Outstanding play, and that's exactly the same curl and out and up route that they ran before. Outstanding throw by Seth Holmes. And the thing that I like about him as a young actually he's a veteran quarterback, but a young high school quarterback, the thing I really like about him is he's anticipating Eisenhower coming out of the break. And that's something you don't see too much. I like to call it the whites of their eyes. Most quarterbacks want to see the kid open, or see the receiver open, instead of throwing it in there, anticipating him being open.
Yeah, and by the time by the time the ball gets there, he's covered if they don't anticipate. All right.
Exactly right.
Okay, good run there by number 43, Ryan Herrig, up the left side, and he's going to pick up about 4 probably.
And it seems right now that even though that was a 4-yard run, Pleasant Valley's defensive line is manhandling Bettendorf's offensive line.
At this point, I think so too.
And Seth Holmes is making big plays on 3rd down to try to offset that. He needs to continue to do that until Bettendorf's offensive line responds. And it might just come down to a senior Seth, we need you this game, and he might have to carry the load.
Okay, wide slot right, I formation. Here's the fake to the fullback, and here comes Holmes out to the right side again. And he's going to be close to a first down over here, TJ. And I'll tell you what, I think we're going to get a little piling on flag out there on sideline. That's going to cost Pleasant Valley 15 more yards, I believe.
Oh, that's a much-needed break for Bettendorf. Outstanding job on the option, faking the dive. And once again, Pleasant Valley is establishing the line of scrimmage. So Seth Holmes really didn't have a clean option lane to option off of any one in particular defender. He just broke a couple arm tackles, was able to get around the end and make a big play. And then, like we talked last week with Assumption, we saw Lee Russell carry the weight of his team. I think we might be seeing Seth Holmes starting to do that for
and
his.
We saw it from Rodriguez from West, the fullback, the same thing. They can pound up there and get that 2 or 3, and that's what keeps people honest, and the quarterback can juke it to the outside. And I'll tell you what, he sees that first down marker, and that's what he goes for.
He seems like he has another gear. For a quarterback, that's impressive, especially being able to drop back and throw it like he can.
All right. right, the ball's on the 16-yard line. Holmes breaks them out. I formation, a wide slot left. Snap is up, and it's give to the outside isolation again, and this is Eisenhower, I believe, again, the tailback, up to about the 10-yard line, and that's a good 6-yard gain there.
Well, Eisenhower is showing a great deal of flexibility, being able to run as an outside receiver and catch big plays on third down, being able to run hard off-tackle runs right there. So he seems to be a well-rounded, outstanding athlete.
Truly is. And fullback Ryan Herrig, number 43, kind of leads that play to the outside, and he goes with pads low, too.
Exactly right. Pad level, as we always talk, is the key to victory.
All right, double tights, I formation, flanker left. Here comes Holmes. Looks like the same play, ran to the opposite side, and I'll tell you what, Pleasant Valley wasn't having any of that time because Eisenhower is smoked under at about the 12-yard line. And I didn't see who all was in the tackle.
That was J.R. Cundert all by himself.
Okay.
He filled the hole and did a great job of scraping right into the outside off-tackle hole, and very, very nice play.
Good job.
We've noticed his offensive prowess, but seems like he's a very good defensive player as well.
He is. He's and Pleasant Valley plays a lot of people both ways, and that may take a little toll on them later on. All right, Holmes, double tights, flank right, I formation again. Here we go. And it's a give inside to Cundert, and Pleasant Valley all over him at the 15-yard line. They're going to lose another couple of yards, TJ.
And I think that was J.R. Cundert making the mainstream of that force right there as well. And a nice job of staying home. The guards don't seem to be getting up to him like they need to be, and being able to get good pads on him. He's using great leverage and filling the hole. So this is a key down for Bettendorf's offense here.
It surely is. All right. 4th and about 6 at the 14, and we got a field goal coming up here. There's the snap to Holmes, and the kick is up, and it's plenty long, and it is good.
Great kick. Great kick. Coach, this is confusing me a little bit here on these 4th downs because Seth Holmes is not only the punter but the holder.
Yeah.
So I'm waiting to see him leave the field to see what the coach's decision is.
That's right.
And great kick, though. Outstanding kick by Bettendorf, and that's something they needed to get points on the board. This has been a very fast football game.
It really is.
And every time they touch the ball, in their mind now, they need to score. Whether it be 3 points or 7 points, they need to get points on the board.
It really is. And is that the place kicker? Was that Salfin? I'm kind of slow on numbers and names tonight,
Justin
TJ.
Langen.
Okay. All right.
If I pronounce that right.
Okay. Langen, all right.
Yeah.
Langen for the 3-point field goal, and that brings a score at 2:37 to 7-3 Pleasant Valley. And Langen will kick off in just a second. Back deep for Pleasant Valley, number 34.
Once again, Coach,
Dave
here
Wagner.
For Pleasant Valley, it's important that being on the road, especially at Bettendorf, if they can get a good return here, that's going to take the crowd out of it. And it's going to take any momentum Bettendorf tried to establish here in the second quarter. So this is a very, very key down here for Pleasant Valley.
Okay. Langen, is it? Langen sets him up for the kickoff, and we're ready to go here with 2:37 to go in a half. Kick is up, high kick, not too deep, down about the 14-yard line, and this is number 21 for Pleasant Valley, Dave Gindelsberger, on the return, and he'll bring the ball up to about the 22-yard line.
That was a great play by Bettendorf, defensing that kick. I didn't see quite who made the play, but it didn't matter. They had a host of jerseys around it. And
they did. They covered it well.
Exactly. They kicked the ball to the right. Pleasant Valley had the return, or kicked the ball to their to Pleasant Valley's left. Pleasant Valley had the return set up for the right, so consequently the return man had to run all the way across the field, which gave Bettendorf a lot of time to go ahead and meet him at the point of attack.
Again, Bettendorf showing that discipline with their kickoff team there, coming down their lanes, not converging until the ball carrier commits.
Exactly right.
All right, Mauser under center. Here's the give to Cundert, and he'll get a couple of tough yards on the right side.
Nice job by Bettendorf's defensive front to try to establish the line. We had talked Pleasant Valley has been winning the war so far. It's a nice job for Bettendorf's line to hold those runs to 2 yards when they have been 4 and 5.
I agree. That'll bring up a second and about 8 when we got about 2:10 left in the quarter here. Family Ties Production, Channel 38, TCI Television. Cy Robinson and TJ Rubley and Jess Medina bringing you this game. Mauser up, 2nd and 8. Here's the give to Cundert, I believe. And again, TJ, I thought the ball was Kevin Hansen's there. Did you?
I agree. And I tell you what, that's a little misdirection. I don't know if the right wing ever does touch that ball. I don't know if it goes right to the left wing or how that works, but that is great choreography in the backfield by Pleasant Valley.
I certainly couldn't find the football.
I believe that was that Cundred on the run, I believe.
I believe it was, yeah. I thought it was Hansen at first. All right, just enough for the first down. They had to measure it. So we got a 1st and 10 on the Pleasant Valley, about the 31-yard line, on their own 31.
And I expect here Pleasant Valley will try to hit a quick trap, trying to break one through to get into Bettendorf's, field territory, rather. And it's not bad if you can hit a quick trap, because then you can play for the field goal.
Right.
If Bettendorf's line will stop you here, then you take your 7-3 lead into the locker room. You know, being on the road, that's an outstanding half of football for Pleasant Valley.
Main thing here, you just want to hang on to the football and be content with just methodically moving it down to the field, and that's looks like Hansen. No, that wasn't Hansen. I'll get it straight here in a
Coach,
minute.
I believe that was Cundred running the reverse dive back to the right.
You're right, it was.
And once again, we talked about that line surge. Bettendorf gave up 4 yards there when it looked like there was nothing. So that tells me Pleasant Valley's offensive line has met the challenge, and they're taking over once again.
They're doing a good job, aren't they?
They sure are.
1 minute to go now in the quarter. 7-3 PV. PV's ball on their own 35. 2nd and 6. And look out, Mauser rolls out, and he's dropped for a loss back there by number 35 from Bettendorf.
That's Weston Kishnick.
Okay, Kishnick.
That's an outstanding play, and we've talked about him earlier. He seems like a very disciplined young man. Outstanding play from the backside linebacker position to not only get caught up with the counter action in the backfield, but to also run down the quarterback. Mauser was set up to throw the corner route here to the left side, flipped his feet very well, was ready to throw the football, but Kishnick just didn't give him a chance.
Yeah, he just was on a dead sprint when he made the play. Okay. 3rd and 14, and Mauser doesn't like what he sees, and he's going to call a timeout here with 12 seconds on the clock, and we'll stay with it. TJ, we got 12 seconds left in the quarter here, and Ed Morrissey's in the huddle out there with him. We'll see what he comes up with.
And that's not a bad call by Mauser. I mean, there's only 12 seconds left in the clock, and then someone would say, why take the timeout? But I agree. If you're not set, and especially when you don't know how much time is on the play clock, go ahead and take the timeout. Let's make sure we do everything correctly, because as you know, Coach, in your many years of experience, if the quarterback's not certain, usually that's a bad play from the beginning.
That's right.
And bad plays on the road end up in turnovers, and that's one of the ways Bettendorf can take control again now is with a turnover.
Right. Again, excuse me for interrupting. Mauser shows some real poise there, taking that timeout. I think he comes up the line of scrimmage, doesn't like what he sees, the play called, and he's going to talk to his coach and get a little information over there before he makes a mistake.
I agree. And it's a nice job of him on the last play, even though he took a sack, of taking care of the football, understanding where he's at and what time of the game it is, to not be too wild and try to make too much happen and turn the ball over.
That's true. Okay, 12 seconds to go here in the second quarter. Mauser under center, I formation, and he's back to throw, straight back. He's got a receiver open, and the ball is caught at the 35-yard line. It's going to be about an 8-yard gain, and looks like Pleasant Valley's taking another timeout with 1 second on the clock.
Well, Ryan McGivern was the outside linebacker there for Bettendorf, and he was able to rush the passer, came on a blitz, which I think put Pleasant Valley in a hot situation.
Yeah, Bettendorf called that timeout. Now, they must want to get their pass defense set, get their goalies back a little deeper.
I agree. and if you're Pleasant Valley, throw one up here, hope for the pass interference call, get yourself into field goal range.
You bet.
And try to kick one.
You bet.
But as we talked, Ryan McGivern was the outside linebacker for Bettendorf. He came on a blitz, put Pleasant Valley in a hot situation. The only thing I'd like to see Mauser do just a little bit quicker is get the ball out just a little sooner, get your receiver a chance to catch it and run with it.
I agree.
I think he held the ball a little too long.
Right. I thought he held the ball a little too long there myself. So if I thought that, there's probably about 4,000 people here that thought
exactly.
That.
But one good thing, I guess, and that's the final result as he got the completion. He recognized that he held the ball long, and he put the ball low and away where only his man could receive it. And that to me shows that he's a senior veteran.
Okay. Mauser brings him out. 1 second on the clock until halftime. Slot formation. I think he fumbled the ball from center. and that's going to bring a close to halftime here. And the score now at Tubell Stadium is 7-3 Pleasant Valley, and they're going to take that lead into the locker room. And just to rehash the scoring, TJ, in the first half, we had a 2-yard run by J.R. Kundert with 11:56 to go on the clock in the first quarter. The PAT was good by Thomason, making a 7-0 PV, and then Justin Langen came in for a 19-yard field goal, and I didn't get the time of that, but it does make a difference. It's still 7-3. Your comment.
Exactly right. Well, we talked Pleasant Valley on the road here at Bettendorf was able to take the ball the first time they had it, march 85 yards down the field, and get a great touchdown. Their offensive line has established a point of attack, and they're winning the war right now. On the Bettendorf side of it, number one, their defensive line has to start jacking it up. They have to start becoming more and more intense to try to combat the dominance of the PV's offensive line. But also from an offensive standpoint for Bettendorf, Seth Holmes has been their whole offense right now. Their offensive line, once again, speaking of Bettendorf, has to gear it up. They have to start pushing more and more forward. And if they can do that, I think it's going to be a great game in the second half.
I do too. I think we're in for a good one. It's a close ball game, 7-3, and we'll come out second half and see what they've done on the chalkboard in the locker rooms. And so we'll be back with it at the start of the third quarter and for halftime. This is Welcome back to the second half of MAC football on a Friday night here at Tuville Stadium, TJ.
Yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful fall night here.
Oh, it really is. Great football. Bettendorf's going to kick off the second half, and Pleasant Valley leads this game 7-3, and we just rehashed how the scoring went, so I won't do that again, but this is Justin Langen getting ready to tee up the ball. And TJ, what do you think's going to happen second half?
Well, I was going to ask you, knowing Coach Hobnick the way you do, what has he said to his defensive and offensive front for Bettendorf? Because that seems to me to be the weak point of their team right now.
I really don't think probably they're going to make many changes at all. Holmes looks very good right now throwing the football. I think they probably just told their linemen, hey, let's get after it a little bit, getting beat up front. And Pleasant Valley, Ed Morrissey's told his guy, hey, keep it up. You're doing a good job up front.
I agree. I think in Pleasant Valley's case, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
That's right. That's right. They got the lead, and they got the kickoff, and they're going to take the ball over on their own 28-yard line. And that looked like Kundert returning the football, I believe, for Pleasant Valley. And we're going to set some linemen here as soon as we get some time. Here comes Mauser in with the play. Offensively, line-wise for Pleasant Valley, offensive guard Jim Miller. At the other guard, Jeff Taney, number 77. One tackle, Randy Winslow. The other tackle is Adam Abel. Now, Mauser up under center, wide slot right, split backs. And here's the give to the second man through, and he's got some room. That's Kundert. He's up to the 40-yard line.
That's a nice play by Pleasant Valley. They used a formation to spread Bettendorf out. Bettendorf got caught in man coverage. Anytime you do that and you break through the first wave of defense, there usually isn't anyone there to make the tackle.
That's right, and you're going to get the big gainer out of it, and which they did, about 12 yards, I believe.
That's exactly right. Bettendorf committed there to stop the run. Fortunately for them, Pleasant Valley out-executed them and made a great play out of it.
Good precision in the backfield. As we've said earlier, two very disciplined ball teams. Merv Hobnick's teams always are, so are Ed Morrissey's. And here we go. First and 10 on the 40. Mauser hands off to Kundert on the left side, and it looks like the same play to the left side. And they'll get a tough 2 yards there, brought down, looks like, by number 42, one of the linebackers for Pleasant Valley, Terry Walters.
That's an outstanding job by Bettendorf's defensive front. I think Coach Hobnick's speech at halftime, maybe to step it up a notch, really rang home there. Usually those runs in the first half were going for 4, 5, 6-yard gains. To hold them to 2 yards, now they're dictating tempo, whereas in the past, Pleasant Valley's been dictating tempo on second down.
Exactly right. Second and we'll call it 8. Mauser under center. We got a slot left, split left. Here's some motion, and we got an option play coming at us, TJ. And Mauser's going to keep the ball, and he's going to get about 6, 7 tough yards out of that.
That's a great run. I tell you what, I thought he was going to get about 2-yard gain there. Outstanding run on his part to keep fighting. That's just a nice job of just wanting the first down.
It really was. Tackled by number 70, Brian Gerskus, I believe, the defensive tackle over there, and also number 42, Terry Walters, the linebacker. And that's going to bring up a 3rd and 2. And here comes a play in.
This is a key stop for Bettendorf here. They need to get the crowd in the game. The crowd's quiet here. They need to get them into the game and get them behind them and get something positive happening for them right now.
I agree.
This is a key stop for Bettendorf here.
3rd and 2. Mauser under center. Slot. We got a wide slot right. And here's that isolation play, the big gainer a while ago, and this is Kundert again, and he's going to get another 10 yards out of this, up to the Bettendorf 42, and I see a flag out there.
I really do, and it's hard to speculate what the flag is. It looks like it's in the grounds of a face mask.
It could be a face mask. There was no under white shirt. Yeah, it sure is. No other white shirt in the area, so it had to be really against Bettendorf.
Yeah, you think it would be some type of face mask, but outstanding job by Pleasant Valley. Bettendorf came with a blitz, either that or their defensive line had just gotten off the ball so quickly, but anyway, there was a Bettendorf player in Pleasant Valley's backfield. Nice job by Kundert and Mauser to make sure the exchange was there and safe, and a great run by Kundert. Not to mention, we talked about Pleasant Valley's offensive line. It seems just like in the first half, they're establishing the line of scrimmage and taking control.
That's true. All right, out of the huddle again. Here comes Dave Breezer, brings him out. Center, number 68. Mauser under center. Here's a little bit of offset eye again. Slot right. The ball's on the 27. And this is going to be a quarterback, kind of a fake dive and quarterback keeper by Mauser. Nice play.
If that is a read option on Trent Mauser's part, that's an outstanding play.
It really.
He understood that after the fake, there was nothing going to the outside. He just tucked it up and he tried to make a poor play into just an average play. Instead, he made a poor play into a very good play.
That's right.
And not only is that a 7 or an 8 yard gain, but that's probably about a 9 or 10 yard net, because that play had -3 yards written all over it.
And he's run that play before, and he runs it well. And that's going to bring up about a 2nd and 4. Same formation, tight right, split left, slot left, offset I, little inside trap. And Bettendorf's not going to have anything with that, and that's
they sure didn't, Coach. Bettendorf lined up. They put 9 men around the ball again. They wanted to stop the run, and they did. It was a little fake dive by Pleasant Valley to the right to Kundert, and then Mauser tried to take it back off to the left, little misdirection, and this quarterback counter, I guess, is actually what it is.
Yeah, that's
right,
what I call it.
And there was just nothing doing there by the Bettendorf defense.
Okay, that's kind of the mirror of the play before that we saw him gain 6 yards on. So it looks like PV's running the ball to their right side, but not gaining much effort many yards to the left side. All right, Mauser under center, 3rd and 4, and here's the give or fake give, and it's an option, and Mauser's going to keep it and fight his way up for about a 3 yard gain, up to about the Bettendorf, 17 maybe?
It looks like it, Coach, and he's very near a first down. It's going to be 4th and a yard, but that's a great job on his second effort. Instead of being 4th and 3, now it's going to be 4th and 1.5. And at this time of the game, on the road, inside the 20-yard line, that 1.5 yards is a huge, huge advantage for Pleasant Valley right here.
It sure is. Here comes Jay Thomason in with the play.
We saw Mauser once before use the hard count to get Bettendorf to jump offside down here. I wouldn't be surprised if it happens again here.
Right. We'll see what happens. Bettendorf fans are getting a little rowdy over here now with the noise.
And this is the first time we've heard them.
That's right. Oops. And
he can move, though, Coach.
Yes,
I think,
he can.
He?
Well, he finally got a flag on the play, and that flag was really late. I'll tell you what, Kundert just sprinted himself into the end zone from about the 18-yard line, but they're going to bring this play back with a motion call, and that flag was late.
Unless they call him for moving toward the line of scrimmage.
And I think that's what happened.
Otherwise, he is legal to move, and he can move late. There is no rule about when you have to move in accordance with a snap, but they probably called him for moving forward.
I think so.
But you have to applaud his effort, and we always teach backs that once you fall off sides to keep going.
That's right.
To prove that you're in motion. He did a great job of that, but the refs didn't want any part of that, and they're going to penalize Pleasant Valley 5 yards.
I think that was Hansen, and they almost got away with it.
He almost pulled the fast one.
Yeah, he did. That was a good run by Kundert, all for naught, though, and that's going to be a 5-yard penalty. Big break there for the Bulldogs. That's going to bring up about a 4th and 6 from the Bulldog 23-yard line. Mauser brings them out of the huddle. We got a slot right formation of split backs. And Mauser rolls to his left. He's got a receiver, but he's smoked under. And we got another flag here, and I'll bet you
it's thrown in the area where it might be a hold on Pleasant Valley on Kundert when he tried to hook the outside linebacker.
Right.
It was basically the same pass that they completed before, the beautiful corner route. This time, number 41 for Bettendorf, Will Schrug, had nothing to do with it, and he just went right through Kundert and made a great, great play.
Okay, that's going to be a holding on Pleasant Valley, and of course Bettendorf's going to decline that penalty, bringing up a 1st and 10 for Bettendorf at their own 26-yard line. So Pleasant Valley there had an opportunity to put some points on the board, couldn't get it done.
They really did. And Bettendorf's defense came up big as we talked at halftime. Shorg made an outstanding play. He, even being held by Kundert, he was able to still make a great, great play.
That's a fact. All right, slot left formation. Here's Holmes given to the tailback, I believe, and he is hit hard by Jim Miller again, I believe.
And Jim Miller's playing an outstanding game. And the reason why I don't know the players here from Pleasant Valley very well, but he's one of the few that I can just call his name now.
Yep.
As many times as we've talked about him, outstanding play. Stayed low, evaded the blocks that he needed to, and made a huge, huge play in the backfield. Great play.
3-yard loss. Alex Sartain, number 76, I believe also in on that play.
But a great play by Pleasant Valley's defense there. We talked about Miller, but Bettendorf was just starting to get the momentum, and a great play to take it right back away from him.
2nd 13, shotgun formation. Holmes is back, rolling to his right. He's got some time, and the ball is incomplete, intended for number 88 from Bettendorf, the split in, Justin Siefken.
And that was a nice job by Bettendorf in the route. They had been getting some man coverage, so they tried to run some crossing routes for their inside receivers. The ball was thrown to the outside flat, but that's because the play developed a little later than I think was anticipated. Holmes made a nice throw, laid it in there. I thought the ball might have been picked because he did throw it a little bit late, but it was a very nice throw, an outstanding job by Pleasant Valley's defense.
Okay, we got an injury here, so we're going to take a break, and we'll be back. Okay, Justin Siefken is back on the sideline. He's going to be okay. Here's a shotgun formation, 3rd and 13 by Bettendorf. Holmes, a lot of time to throw, and he throws it in a crowd over there, TJ.
It sure was. They lined up when they had a 2 tight end situation with 2 wide receivers. Seth Holmes was in the shotgun, and they ran an all curl with the receiver to the Bettendorf sideline running the curl and go. Pleasant Valley did a nice job. Once again, I believe their man-free coverage did a nice job of staying home. The curl and go had nothing to do with there. Great job by the Pleasant Valley corners, and a nice job by putting a pass rush on Seth Holmes.
You bet. All right, 4th down, and this is Holmes back to punt. He'll be punting from about his own 10-yard line. Snaps, good snap, and there's a pretty good kick coming back, fielded at the 45 by number 21 from Pleasant Valley, and he'll get about 8 on return. Number 21 from Pleasant Valley being Dave Gindelsparger.
That's a nice job by Pleasant Valley's defense to stepping up to take momentum back away from Bettendorf. 2 huge plays there by Pleasant Valley on defense. Now all of a sudden they have the momentum with the ball inside Bettendorf's territory.
Exactly right. And they're going to take the ball over inside Bettendorf territory.
Exactly right.
47.
I keep commenting on that because anytime on the MAC you can win on the road. It is huge. And they haven't won yet, and we know that. Coach Hobnick's not about ready to fold the tent yet, but Pleasant Valley's doing all the things they need to do to get a big victory on the road at this point.
Little ball control, and they're not making any mistakes. Very few mistakes tonight. All right, very wide twin formation out there to the far side. And here's the give, or at least a fake give to Kundert, and this is Mauser keeping the ball. He's going to get almost a first down. We got another flag out here now.
Hey, aside from the penalty, Mauser just made a 9-yard mistake.
I think
Whether
so too.
The fullback was wrong or he was wrong, that's indifferent. Needless to say, he took a botched play and made a 9-yard run out of it. That's an outstanding play.
And I tell you what, I think Kundert was supposed to get that football because he looked real surprised when he didn't wind up with it.
I agree.
All right, we got a penalty on Pleasant Valley, and it's going to be a holding again. That'll be a 10-yard penalty, so that'll bring it back to a 1st and 10 again. So that play will go down for naught again.
Once again, though, that almost even makes Mauser's run that much more important. Instead of 1st and 20, now they have 1st and 10.
That's exactly right.
So, and the ball still is in Bettendorf's territory here. So once again, Pleasant Valley has a new lease on life.
Correct. All right, 7-3 is the score. Pleasant Valley, 5:50 left in the 3rd quarter. Mauser under center. We got a slot formation right. There's motion across and a give to the left side I believe that's Hansen.
Yeah, Kundert.
I believe it was Kundert, Coach.
Yeah, okay.
Tough 2 yards in the middle. Once again, I like the fact that it's still 2nd and 8. That means Bettendorf's defensive line's making the plays. I think they need to do it on a more of a consistent level here as we continue here in the 3rd quarter. But needless to say, Coach Hobnick's got them playing with a little more intensity, I think.
I believe so, too. And this is, speaking of intense, we haven't heard a lot, and this is a great crowd here tonight. This place is full. But we haven't heard a lot out of either side except for the points on the board. All right, Mauser under center again, 2nd and 8. Here's the give, a little reverse back to number 34, Kundert. And he's going to pick up close to a 1st down.
Oh, I think that's
that was Wagner. My fault.
I tell you what, I still haven't found out yet what Moser's doing with that football. I don't know who's touching it.
I tried to pick up numbers, and it's tough to do.
And it's a great play. I would just like to see it drawn up on the chalkboard just to know who's going where.
It just looks like a kind of a counter crisscross type action. By the time the ball gets the line of scrimmage, there's room to run.
It sure is. And then Mauser's got his back turned to the Bettendorf defense, making it very tough for the Bettendorf linebackers to see where the ball's going.
That's right.
Not to mention with the different pulling guards and everybody moving and reaching, that's a very difficult play to defend.
And not to mention hiding a football from us.
Yeah, exactly right.
Okay, this is going to be really close. Looks like about maybe less than a foot.
That's
3rd and less than a foot. Yep.
Coach, on plays like that, those are good times when we need Jess to repair our instant replay system.
Yeah, there
that we
you
have
go.
here on hand.
We got. All right. And he's not having any of that. 3rd and short, and there's a quarterback sneak and a big line surge by Pleasant Valley there.
That's a 3 to 4 yard line surge. That's outstanding by Pleasant Valley. That is a great job by the center, both guards, and the tackles getting their heads in the right place and hat placement. Just a beautiful job up front.
That's a kind of play where a lineman doesn't look for anybody to block. You just take your inside step and just drive as hard as you can, get your first down, and that's what they did is first down, and the ball's on the Bettendorf 35.
That's exactly right. Plays like that, I know, Coach, they almost bring a tear to your eye.
Oh, you better believe it. Okay, here's Cunder to the left side, and he'll pick up a tough 3 yards.
Once again, I think Pleasant Valley, they're making the game as short as they can right now, trying to keep the ball away from Bettendorf and doing a great job of really exploiting the line of scrimmage right now. The left side of the Pleasant Valley line is really doing an incredible job.
I'll tell you, I agree with you. And Jess was just pointed out a while ago, we were talking halftime, the first half of this game took 44 minutes.
Wow.
44 minutes, clock minutes, to play the first half of this game. You talk about quick.
That is a very quick game. I know Pleasant Valley hadn't finished their first possession. The first quarter was already up.
All right, Mauser under center, 2nd and 7. Here's the give to Cunnard again to the right side, and he'll pick up another 3 or 4 tough yards.
That's a nice run, and now the right side of the offensive line for Pleasant Valley gets involved here. So I think within the running game, Pleasant Valley's keeping Bettendorf a little bit off balance, and Bettendorf's trying to pack 9 people in the box, but Pleasant Valley's linemen are just getting that line surge.
I agree, and I'll tell you what, they're in Ford Town territory here again, and any time your ball team can move the ball 3 and 4 yards at a time, you're going to eat a lot of clock up.
Without question.
All right, slot right, split backs, Mauser gives to Cunnard over the left side, and he's just got his pads down, Rube, and he's getting at it.
He really is. And Terry Walters was the linebacker on the play there for Bettendorf. And if I can give Terry one piece of advice, when you see Cunnard coming, you're going to have to almost sniff the grass because he gets very low. And when he's low at the point of attack, he's going to take you 2 yards.
That's right. There's going to be no negative yards on that play.
Exactly right. And Terry Walters is a very good football player in his own right. But when you want to go stop Cunnard, you've got to get very low because he gets a head of steam going, and he doesn't take much time to do it, 2 or 3 yards, and it seems like he's a pretty good pace.
That's right. All right, another first down at the Bettendorf 25-yard, and they're just kind of eating the yardage away and eating the clock away. There's only 2:45 to go in the 3rd quarter. Another very fast quarter here. 7-3, Pleasant Valley leads here at Tubell Stadium. All right, Mauser takes the snap, drops back to throw, got a receiver open, and it's Hansen, but the ball was thrown a little bit behind, I believe.
I think that was a tactical advantage on both teams' parts, and by that I mean Bettendorf put 9 guys around the line of scrimmage, played man coverage. They said, beat us with a pass.
Right.
We're going to try to stop the run, and on Pleasant Valley's part, they wanted to go a little play action fake because they've been running the ball so well and get a guy in the flat where there was nobody covering him. That happened as well. It's just the Bettendorf outside linebackers got to Mauser before he was able to step and make an accurate throw.
Exactly right. All right, 2nd and 10.
Not a bad time for a hard count here. But
here's Cunnard over the left side, and he's going to pick up probably 5 yards.
Boy, that's a great run. And we talked, that doesn't look like a glamorous 5 yards at all. But if you look at his shoulder pad level and his feet, it almost appears as if they're on the same level.
Oh, I agree.
And he puts his arm on the ground, and there's just no way you can get lower than him and stop him from getting positive yards.
All right, ball down to the 20-yard line. It's 3rd and 5. Mauser breaks him out of the huddle. Here's the same formation. This wide slot right. Cunnard again, and he's going to be up to about the 16-yard line, it looks like.
And from Bettendorf's standpoint, you're looking at this happening to you with 3, 4, 5 yards of crack.
That's
what
right.
do? You have 9 men in the box. Your safety's trying to get in the running game. Unless you take out one of your linebackers and substitute a defensive lineman, there's really not much else you can do as far as getting people around the football. It's just Pleasant Valley is from elbow to elbow. They're really dominating the point of attack.
Right. And Bettendorf will go into their 62 defense here, and it's 4th and 1. And here's the snap. Here's the give to Cunnard over the left side, and it's going to be close. It's going to be real close.
I like Mauser's idea, the quarterback for Pleasant Valley, by trying to draw him off sides. A very, very heady play. And it's a good time to do that when you have a good conservative play handing the ball to Cunnard.
That's right. And that looks like he's going to get a first down, but they're going to bring the strings out. But just our cameraman insists that's a first down, so we're going to go with it.
And then I haven't seen him wrong in 2 weeks.
No, I haven't either. Well, I had 3 years here.
Yeah. There you go.
Oh, that's the first time he's been wrong in 3 years.
Coach,
holy cow.
We might need to step out of the booth because lightning might strike.
Yep. Well, I tell you what. It looked like the linesman had marked it, but they brought the strings out, and it wasn't there. So that was a crucial series for Bettendorf right there.
Sure was. Keep in mind with those chains, we are at Bettendorf. They've been known to roll a link or two here.
I'm glad. Write those letters to T.J. Ruby, folks.
That's a great home field advantage, though.
You betcha. You're exactly right. Okay. Here's a little rollout by Holmes. Oh, my. And it might be picked off. A tipped ball, and a referee rules incomplete.
Boy, that was a tough call on the referee's part. Because,
it was.
Number 28 for Pleasant Valley is Jay Thomason. He had his elbows underneath the ball, and it just seems, but the referee was in a great spot. It just seems that the ball might have split his elbows and hit the ground, and he appeared to trap it.
I agree, and I didn't see who tipped the ball for Pleasant Valley, but Holmes tried to throw over the top of him. He was just like a tree out there, tipped the ball up, and not quite able to hang on to it.
Sure was, Coach. Evidently. It was a right outside linebacker. I think that's number 33, maybe Tim Kramer.
Yeah, it could have been. Could have been. All right, 2nd and 10. I formation. Holmes under center. Here's the fake give to the dive back, and Holmes tries to duck it in there, and there's a flag went in the middle of the pile, and that's probably going to be a hold.
Yeah, usually is holding anytime it's thrown in that direction. That's something Bettendorf doesn't need right now. They need positive things happen to them. They just dodged a bullet, which sometimes some coaches view, well, we almost had an interception, and they get depressed. But to me, I look at it, when you're at home and you're a good football team, you just dodged a bullet.
That's right.
So now your time to make your roll.
Take advantage of that.
Exactly right.
You betcha.
And a holding call here, that's surely not going to help.
And I'll tell you what, as a former offensive guard, I just got to tell you that we never hold. That's all there is to it. So
never any holding.
Something's wrong here somewhere.
All
right, we got a hold call by Bettendorf.
That's right.
And decline by Pleasant Valley is going to bring up a 3rd down and 9.
That's an interesting call,
Yes,
Coach.
It was. Interesting call.
I think I would have tried to back him in there.
But, if they can hold them for this down, I'm sure Bettendorf would have to punt the ball for being that close to their own goal line with this much time left in the game. We got 52 seconds, and the clock is running in the 3rd quarter.
Sure, and the way the game's been going, that means Bettendorf will only touch the ball one more time the rest of the game. The way Pleasant Valley's been taking advantage.
Okay, now we got a flag, and I think we're going to have another penalty by Bettendorf. I think that's going to be a procedure penalty.
I believe it's on the left tight end, Eric Jessen. Got a little over anxious.
Yeah, he did.
Maybe it was on first sound, and you might have heard one of the Pleasant Valley players bark something, and usually that draws a guy offside.
Yeah, it does.
But that is an untimely penalty for the Bettendorf Bulldogs.
Well, that'll bring a 3rd and 15. Here comes a play in from the Bettendorf bench by number 8, Jake Thomas. And if and when we get a little time here, we're going to set some linemen for you, but not right now. Here comes Bettendorf center Nick Levson out of the huddle, and Holmes underneath I formation. 3rd and 15. And back to throw. Holmes scrambling around a little bit out there, and he's going to keep it, and he's going to be hit hard by number 24, I believe.
Great play by the Pleasant Valley secondary, and I think that play was a result, whether it's a sack or not, that play was a result of the Pleasant Valley secondary staying home and guarding the entire field. What Bettendorf tried to do was run a little play action fake, and they tried to get 4 receivers into the right side of the field, creating a flood on Pleasant Valley's 3 or 4 defenders. But the defenders for the right side of Pleasant Valley's defense were able to stay home, make a good play, because Seth Holmes could have run that ball for the first down had they not been honest.
Yep, it looked like that to me too. I'll tell you what's a little bit confusing too. There was a heck of a hit there by the nose guard, Mike Seavey from Pleasant Valley, and his number 24. Now, you're looking for a corner or a strong safety or something to come up, and it's a nose guard, number 24. But what a heck of a hit he put on Seth Holmes down there.
He sure did. He was able to run him down.
Okay, Jess reminds us that's the end of the quarter here, and we're so busy shooting the breeze here, TJ, that we forgot to say that. So we're going to start the fourth quarter here with Bettendorf is going to have about a 4th and 12 situation. Pleasant Valley leads this game 7-3, and we got a game between two teams here. They can almost see in each other's back door over here, and what a battle we got. Not a lot of points on the board, but they're really getting at it.
Oh, they are, and then you and I, Coach, this is our second game together, and it seems like they're mirror images of one another. We talked a little difference. West last week was in Bettendorf's situation, needed some good things to happen to them, and they showed up in the fourth quarter and was able to establish a fourth quarter. That's Bettendorf's task right now. They need to get their big guys up front to get a stop, number one, on defense here, and then their offense to take control.
Exactly right. All right, punt formation. Seth Holmes is back inside his own end zone, and Pleasant Valley is going to have good field position here no matter what happens. Okay, fielding the ball at the 45-yard line for Pleasant Valley was Dave Gindelsbarger again, and he's going to get about an 8-yard return out of that. And Pleasant Valley, excellent field position on the 37-yard line of Bettendorf, TJ.
Once again, a great heads-up play by Gindelsbarger, the return man. He realizes he's catching the ball in Bettendorf territory already. Instead of dancing around and then a la Deion Sanders trying to make something crazy happen, he went ahead, got his one move, got the ball upfield, and now Pleasant Valley starts inside the Bettendorf 40.
You bet. Now here we go with the ball control again. And we got a, looks like a wishbone formation, split left. This is Mauser, and he just gives it to the fullback up the middle for a couple of tough yards.
Nice run once again by Cunner, just a simple dive play. It appeared almost as if the defensive end or defensive tackle there for Bettendorf were unblocked. Still, Cunner was able to get 2 yards.
Yep.
And once again, as we talk, Coach, this is an outstanding job by Bettendorf, hopefully realizing that they need to establish the point of attack.
That's right.
And they've done a better job the second half on first down.
That's right. Well, that's just kind of a check Bettendorf defense type play right there. 2-yard game, 2nd and 8. Mauser fakes to the fullback, gives the second man through, and he's met hard by the left side of Bettendorf's line. Terry Walters, a fine LB over there, number 42, making a heck of a play, and they might have gained a half a yard there.
I agree, and Coach, that's an outstanding play for a linebacker. He's got, number one, the fullback coming at him, which is his responsibility.
Yep.
Not to mention he has to scrape, see the fullback doesn't have the ball, which is Cunard, who is, you think he'd be keying on him by now. Go ahead and scrape and make the second play on the second back through. That's a very, very good play on his part. Something Bettendorf well needed at this point.
That's a great read by that young man, finding that football and making the play. Okay, 3rd and 8. Mauser brings them out of the huddle. Wing left, split backs, slot left, I'm sorry. And here's that little reverse, and they fumble the ball. And it looks like he recovered his own fumble. That was Dave Wagner. Didn't quite get it clean from the back coming across.
I finally figured it out, Coach. They hand it to the back, and the back keeps an inside handoff back to the wing back underneath. So it is actually a double handoff.
All right, we got it now.
Yeah, and that's the first time they've done it without precision. Normally they've been very precise and very crisp and clean on the backfield exchange. This is the first time they laid the ball on the carpet. Unfortunately for Bettendorf, they needed that turnover at this point.
Yeah, they did, and I'll tell you what, if that ball would have been given free, without a fumble there was room to run on the right side.
I agree.
So, all right, we got a timeout by Pleasant Valley here on a 4th and 10 situation. About a 2-yard loss on that last play, and Ed Morris is in the huddle. Good time to set some linemen here. We'll stay on. Offensive line for Pleasant Valley. I don't know if we've been through them or not. We're going to do them again anyhow. Center is Dave Breezer. Number 68 at guard, Jim Miller. Number 67, Jeff Taney, the other guard. Number 74 at the tackles, Randy Winslow and Adam Abel. 6'4", 280, Adam Abel. Big young man,
Big
TJ.
young man. I'm sure he's a prospect, and no doubt as much Pleasant Valley's been running the ball tonight, they're running behind him, and he is actually getting the job done and doing it very, very well.
All right. We got a 4th down now. Pleasant Valley's going to line up in punt formation here. Ball's on the Bettendorf 37, so they're going to put them deeper, which I don't think is a bad idea, TJ.
I think it's a very good idea, and you can see the punter aims right for the corner, gets the ball to turnover, and an outstanding
beautifully
kick.
Done. Beautiful kick. A nice tight spiral kick down, and that ball hits on a 5 and just dies.
That's beautiful. That is a beautiful, beautiful punt on his part.
Well, we'll see now if Merv's team can get their offense going here a little bit. They got 95 yards to go. That's a long ways.
Well, I tell you what, Coach, and in the way the clock has been going, this might as well be the game-winning drive.
Really,
here.
really.
Coach Hobnick, who better than a Bettendorf team to do that?
Mm-hmm.
Coach Hobnick, coach team is always capable of overcoming immense odds, especially late in the game, and they always seem to show up in the fourth quarter. So I'm excited here in the next 10 minutes.
That's a fact. I formation, 10:08 to go. First down, and this is Eisenhower, the tailback, and he'll get about 3 tough yards.
Oh, Kevin Hansen, the inside linebacker for Pleasant Valley. You talk about train wrecks, Coach. He just gave his body and soul up for that one. And there was a hole there. Because of his penetration on the fullback, he was able to deliver a blow almost on both backs at the same time.
I'll tell you, Hansen is a 2-year starter for Pleasant Valley, and he was tough last year, and he hasn't lost anything over the winter, that's for sure.
Boy, that was a great play there. And once again, we keep talking about it. It seems like Pleasant Valley is making the timely plays when they need to.
All right. Holmes breaks him out of the huddle. Double tights, flanker left, I formation. Snap is up, and a little crisscross action to give to Eisenhower, and he's going to get up to about the 12 or 13-yard line.
That's a nice run. Bettendorf's offensive line, they responded to the challenge there. I think you saw Jim Miller peeking in as a 5'3 linebacker, the middle linebacker, and I think what they're trying to do really is just to get him an advantage on the nose guard. Whatever side he feels the play is supposed to go, he's going to try to wreak havoc in the backfield.
You bet.
Nice job by Holmes to secure the handoff there and get a positive play out of it.
Seavey, the nose guard, number 24, lists him at 195, but he looks a little smaller than the rest of them out there. All right, 3rd and 4. Holmes gives to Eisenhower from the tailback position. He's up across the 12, and that's going to be real close to a first down.
That's a nice run.
Yes,
that's a very nice run.
Yes, it is.
And I believe that was Hansen once again, a linebacker, that made the stop. But that's 2 good football players going at it, and Bettendorf fullback just ran him over and got the first down.
That's a nice job. Okay, a little bit of breathing room down there now on their own, down near their, close to their end zone. They took the ball over on the 5, and now it's out on the 17, the 1st and 10.
And I think you heard the Bettendorf crowd starting to get into it. It's important that they need to back their team on this fourth quarter drive. Once again, as we talk, the way the game's been going, this could very well be the final decisive drive here.
All right, Holmes rolls to his left, fakes to the halfback, up the middle, and keeps it out over the left side. And he's going to pick up about 2 on the option play.
Outstanding job by the Pleasant Valley front line, outside linebackers, stringing that play out. Seth Holmes made a nice decision with nothing going, just to tuck the ball up instead of pitching it and get negative yardage. This time in the game, take your 2-yard gain and let's live for 2nd down.
And you wonder in that play if he's ever pitched the ball to Eisenhower.
Exactly.
he does like to keep the football.
He sure does, and that's a nice job of adjustment by the Pleasant Valley outside linebackers.
Sure.
Seth's beat him to the corner a couple times, and I think they're saying, no, we want to make your tailback beat us.
That's right. All right, double tights, flanker right, I formation, 2nd and 8. Holmes back, throws the little pattern to Eisenhower. Eisenhower clear back across the formation, and I'll tell you what, just kind of threw a little flare out there. TJ could describe it for us.
I sure can, and I think what was going on there was a little tailback flare, and it's a great job of the outside linebacker of Pleasant Valley, the left outside linebacker staying home, forcing a tough throw. Only thing I would say there to Seth Holmes, keep your eyes upfield a little longer and don't sell the play too early. You have to decoy that play, even though it's a designated toss to the tailback. Basically, Coach, all that is another way to run a sweep. But instead of taking the back from the inside and pitching it to him early, they want to freeze the inside linebackers and dump the ball over the outside linebacker's head. Great job by the Pleasant Valley defense.
All right, 3rd and 6. Holmes rolls to his right. A lot of time to throw. Got a receiver out here at the 45. Or excuse me, out the 25-yard line, and that's going to be first down also, I believe. And who was on that reception?
I believe that's Ryan Herrig.
Okay, Ryan Herrig, the halfback.
Nice job by Seth Holmes, a little drop back to the right. They flooded the zone, and it's always tough to cover 3 strong, especially when one comes out of the backfield.
You bet.
Most defenses of this level don't account for your tailback in the passing game or their fullback, and it's a nice job of putting the ball low and away. Once again, I'd still like to see him get rid of the ball a tad bit quicker and let your fullback get upfield and get more positive yards, but all in all, very good play.
All right, twins left, I formation. Holmes, 1st and 10, gives to Eisenhower, and he blocks, gets away from one tackler and gets the ball up to about the 36-yard line. Good gainer.
Well, I tell you what, Jim Miller for the Pleasant Valley. I hate to call him middle linebacker, but that's a position they have him playing tonight, a spinner, whatever you would like to call him. He's wreaking havoc in there, and as hard as he's played, you think he's a little fatigued, because I thought he had a 3-yard loss there.
Yeah, I did too.
Outstanding run by the Bettendorf back to make it an 8-yard gain, and I think, once again, you see a little life in Bettendorf.
Yeah, you see a little Mo going the other way here.
Exactly right.
2nd and 2. Wide slot, Holmes under center. There's the give to the up back, number 43, and he'll get another first down.
Once again, a nice run by Ryan Herrick. I'd still like to see him be a little bit lower, maybe to bounce off that first wave of tacklers. But a nice run all in all, and once again we talked. I think Bettendorf, when they show up in the fourth quarter, I think that's a direct reflection of Coach Hopnick. He'll never quit, and he'll keep fighting you, and his kids will do the same thing.
That's right. All right, 1st and 10. Crowd's getting a little noisy now, TJ. It's first down on their own 38. I formation. And there's the option play to Eisenlauer. He's got some room out there, and we got a flag deep in the backfield.
Coach, I think that's going to be probably a clip on the receiver to the outside of Bettendorf, either that or an illegal block or some type of hold. But nice job by Seth Holmes. It was a great job by the Pleasant Valley outside linebacker to force the pitch. He did. It was a nice running lane for Eisenlauer, and unfortunately for Bettendorf, there's going to be a penalty just when the crowd was into it and getting momentum.
Right.
And once again, we talked about Pleasant Valley. It seems like they're making timely plays, and Bettendorf's making the untimely penalties.
That's right. And that penalty, it's too bad. Here's a place where you got to fault the kid for throwing the block, the clip, or whatever it was. But on the other hand, he's out there, he's getting at it, and he's trying to get his team to move the ball forward. He just wasn't quite careful enough to get the job done.
Exactly, and I'm with you, Coach. I mean, I believe that was Justin Siefkin, and he's a kid that was hurt earlier.
Right.
Went across the middle and took a hellacious hit by 3 defenders from Pleasant Valley. He's able to come back in the game, and he's fighting hard, and it shows that he's a tough kid. It's just at this time of the game, 1st and 20, is not desirable for the Bettendorf offense. It's really been sputtering tonight.
That's right. All right, you got a 15-yard penalty on the clip by Bettendorf, and that's going to make it back to 1st down and 23. Holmes under center, double tight formation. Here's the snap. Holmes drops back and rolls to his right, and everybody's covered, it looked like, and Holmes going to pick up about 2 on a run.
It sure was. Pleasant Valley lined up in a 2-deep secondary, which is great against the pass. Bettendorf sent 2 receivers in the route, and I think it was just supposed to be a quick route down here to number 27 for Bettendorf, John Pecora. He was covered by the Pleasant Valley secondary. Seth Holmes did a nice job of just tucking the ball up and making basically what would have been a sack into a no-yard gain.
You bet. Good defense there.
Very good.
Well, there's not too many things you can call in a situation like this. You got the ball on your own 21-yard line, 2nd and a bunch, shotgun formation. Holmes is back, throws it out way left. It's kind of up for grabs, and it's, holy cow, it's caught. That's Eisenlauer again.
I tell you what, great play by Eisenlauer, bailing out Seth Holmes. Really what we had was a go route by the outside receiver for Bettendorf, and the second receiver running an out and up against 2 deep man underneath, which you should have a good advantage on your inside receivers. But Eisenlauer came back for the ball, made a great catch, and really bailed the Bettendorf offense out right there.
That he did. Eisenlauer's probably got quite a few reception yards tonight. We're not sure how many, but there's a first down at any rate here on their own 48. And that's what they had to do, move the football.
They sure did.
Here's Holmes rolling out on the option, and he's going to keep it. And he's out of bounds at about the Pleasant Valley 47.
We talked about possibly Bettendorf's offensive line starting to take control in the fourth quarter. Nice job by John Anderson there. It looked like the play was dead. John was able to continue his block on the Pleasant Valley defender and make a nice hole for Seth Holmes.
Okay, we got 3:45 on the clock, and it's running. The score is 7-3. Pleasant Valley, and Bettendorf is on the roll here at the Pleasant Valley 45, just across the 45-yard line. Here's Holmes under center, I formation, double tight ends, flanker left, and there's the give to number 43 again, Ryan Herrig, and he's met at the line of scrimmage.
That's a nice play by Jim Miller. We've called his name all night.
Yeah, we have.
Playing that spinner back, third linebacker, whatever you want to call him. Basically, he's a rover in there at defensive line. Great play on his part. From a Bettendorf standpoint, you've had the ball for 6.5 minutes so far. You were able to move it some 40, 45 yards.
Yes, sir.
You almost want to be concerned at this point that you need to pick up the pace a little bit on offense.
That's right.
Whether that means somehow stop the clock or whatever, but the way it goes right now, you're going to stall out somewhere around the 20-yard line.
Yeah, you're going to begin to run out of time here. All right, 2:50 on the clock. 3rd and 4. Holmes under center, I formation. He's rolling to his left. Time, he's got a receiver open over there, and it's caught. It looks like number 43. Is that Herrig?
Yeah, that's Ryan Herrig again, Coach. Once again, we've seen him in the flat earlier here in the 4th quarter. Seth Holmes, what a nice play. We've talked about getting the ball out a little quicker. He was able to go to the left, flip his feet, throw a beautiful strike right in Ryan Herrig's stomach. Ryan was able to take the ball, turn it upfield, and make sure he got the first down. Very, very nice play.
Nice job by Seth Holmes. I tell you, he looks like a poised quarterback on that play. Ripped that ball out there, and it's caught at the 33 of Pleasant Valley. It's 1st and 10 now. Holmes under center. And rolling to his right on the option, finds an opening, and he's down to the 21-yard line. Pretty close to another first down, if not a first down.
Oh, that's a nice job by Seth Holmes. We talked about he's going to have to take this game over earlier in the first half. Boy, this drive he surely has. Not to mention his offensive line has really stepped up.
Yes.
They've really started to control Pleasant Valley, and you talked earlier about Pleasant Valley 2 platooning. Or excuse me, not 2 platooning, but going both ways.
Right.
And Bettendorf 2 platoons for the most part, and we thought that might be some problem, and I think it's taking over right now.
Okay, 2 minutes, less than 2 minutes on the clock now. 1st and 10 at the Pleasant Valley 22-yard line. Here's Holmes giving to Eisenhower. He's off the right side, and he's going to pick up another 8 yards.
Coach, I can't help but think that Pleasant Valley's fatigued at this point, and Bettendorf's just getting tougher and tougher as the game goes on. And another thing, you start to hear the 12th man. The Bettendorf crowd is in this one now.
That's right.
So, with 14 yards to go, Pleasant Valley has to find a second wind here.
That's right. That's right. And now the Bettendorf crowd is on its feet, and they're into this game. And we got a timeout called right here by Pleasant Valley, I think, and it's a 2nd and 2 situation on the 14-yard line of Pleasant Valley, and we'll see what Ed Morrissey wants the defense to do, and we'll see what Merv does with the offense.
Coach, what were some of your secrets when you were coaching on a team that you knew was exhausted, had fought and hard all game, really controlled the game except for these last 5 minutes or so? What do you tell them now that you're in the huddle?
Well, I'll tell you, the thing about this is, in this situation, I like quick counts. I like to get out. I like to get up the ball. I like to get it going, because you know you have the feeling that the other team is fatigued. And that gives you a little bit of a superior feeling over that team, even though you might not have it.
I agree. So almost as if you're in a 2-minute mold, just to keep them tired and not give them a break.
That's right.
What do you say from Coach Morrissey's point of view?
Coach Morrissey's point is just buckle it on, guys, and hold them out of there, because this is the difference between a win and a loss.
That's right.
All right, 2nd and 2, Holmes, I formation. Oh, and I'll tell you what. 71, big number 71, Adam Abel, 6'4", 280, almost got the handoff.
Boy, I tell you what, Coach, and that reminds me, and he's probably been able to do that all game or close to it, or he's been working at it. Then that reminds me of a guy named Reggie White. He'll pass rush to tackle, pass rush to tackle. Key 3rd down in the 4th quarter. He'll give him the hip toss and make a huge sack and turn the game around. That play was an outstanding play by Adam Abel.
All right, 3rd and 6 now. 1:05 on the clock. Here's Holmes, rolls to his left, looking for Eisenhower. He's open over there and makes the catch, and he's out of bounds at about the 6 or 7 yard line on the far side.
Boy, great coverage on Pleasant Valley's part by Dave Wagner, and you have to applaud Eisenhower to continue to run his route at good speed, and Seth Holmes once again going to his left, laying a tough flat throw in there. That's a great touch throw.
That was really pretty.
Very, very hard throw to complete, and especially given the situation here with less than a minute to go. Outstanding play by Bettendorf.
You bet. All right, we got 56 seconds to go. The score is 7-3 Pleasant Valley. Ed Morrissey's taking a timeout to talk to his defense over there. The ball is on the about the 8-yard line, and it's 1st and goal from the 8. And we'll see. What do you think Bettendorf's going to come up with here, TJ?
Well, I don't know, Coach. They've established the line of scrimmage here in the 4th quarter, and I think they're just going to keep going at them. I think they have to, and Pleasant Valley's going to make them throw to beat them. Obviously, I think Bettendorf's just really got to go elbow to elbow, because you can tell they're fired up now. The momentum's in their court, and they have stamina on their side. Pleasant Valley, as we've seen, we really believe they're fatigued. They're starting to miss tackles now, which they didn't for 3 quarters, and all the signs of fatigue are there, and you can tell by the uniforms. Those kids have been playing a long time.
That's right.
And I agree with you. From Pleasant Valley, you just strap it on and try to play, and if you're Bettendorf standpoint, if you're the big horses up front, you say, please, Coach, run behind me, because I've got my guy beat.
You bet. Get your feet going, and I got my feet going, and we're rolling. All right. We got a 1st down on the 8 with 56 seconds on the clock. Holmes brings them out. We got trips right and a tight end left. 1 single setback.
And that single setback, Coach, is Ryan Harrigan. I believe he plays a key role here in the
Here's Holmes. He's got room. He's got room. Oh, and a great block down there by Eisenhower to get Holmes the yardage he got.
He sure did. He got inside. I think he's inside the 6-yard line here. I started to say Ryan Herrick was going to be a key part of this. I really believe he is, and for him to do that, he's got to keep his shoulders low and run hard. I just anticipate that he's going to see the ball quite a bit inside the 5 here.
I do too. Eisenhower was running, Holmes, excuse me, had the football. Now it's 43 seconds. The clock is running here. That's a 2nd down on the 6-yard line. Holmes in the shotgun formation. There's the throw. Eisenhower. Touchdown.
Great play. I tell you what, how about Coach Hobnick? Coach Hobnick, I know, would never get in the shotgun on the 5-yard line going in for the win.
Unbelievable.
How about a great call? He gets in the shotgun, high snap. Seth Holmes makes a great catch. He sets his feet, and he finds Eisenhower on the left slant. Eisenhower, great route. He pushed his defensive back up, was able to plant his left foot and come hard to the ball. Beautiful throw, low and away. Even if it was tight coverage, that ball was going to be incomplete. Outstanding play by Bettendorf.
Exactly right.
And the touchdown pass is what scored, but I believe you have to credit Bettendorf's offensive line that entire drive.
Ooh.
Coach, that was more than a 10-minute drive there in the 4th quarter, and very well could be the winning drive.
Yep. We said that early on, TJ. You said that, I should say. This very well possibly be the last drive of the game.
And the only reason why I know that is I played against Coach Hobnick long enough to know that he will not quit on you. He will not quit on you, and I think we see that Pleasant Valley just may have run out of gas a little too early. Playing both ways is so hard in the MAC.
I think it is too.
Not to mention when you're playing on the road at Bettendorf against a big physical Bettendorf team. Very good job of using the clock and just moving the ball methodically down the field. Great job by Seth Holmes showing his veteran poise, being a senior, not panicking, not trying to make 40-yard throws, just hitting the flat. You saw him hit Ryan Herrick twice in the flat, just making nice, consistent, conservative throws.
Overcame the big penalty down here too. Remember they had 1st and 23 down there?
And credit Eisenhower for really bailing him out with a great catch. Not to mention the catch for the touchdown, obviously, which was huge, but also the catch in the flat, which got him into touchdown range. So
that's right.
Once again, you saw 3 players in particular that really step up, not to mention the front 5.
That's right. Okay, 33 seconds to go. Now it's 10-7 Bettendorf with 33 seconds to go. Langen's back to kick. And here's the kick, high and deep down to about the 9-yard line. And here's a little reverse, and not for naught.
Gindelsbarger, I think they set up the wedge on the left side. He didn't like what he saw, tried to kick it out to the right. And number 44 for Bettendorf, that's Abe Blair, just made a huge play.
Very nice job by the Bettendorf kickoff team there. I'll tell you, Lang kicks that ball high and deep.
He sure does.
A lot of hang time on it.
Boy, Pleasant Valley, Coach, I think they have maybe 1 timeout left. I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, I think so. 1 left.
Boy,
27 seconds. Ball's on their own 14-yard line. Here's Mauser back to throw. And he's getting some pressure, and he's going to get sacked back there, I believe. It took a while. But
yeah, it sure did, and that's a trademark of a Marv Hobnick team. I know, because I've been hit and sacked quite a few times by these Bettendorf defenders. They'll keep coming at you, and once again, I think that they're just in better shape, once again, because of the 2 platoon, for the most part, than this Pleasant Valley team. And you'd like to see Mauser, being a veteran guy, just yank the ball out of bounds there, because a sack, not only does it cost you the time, it costs you the field position and the down.
Sure does.
And if it's it's a bad play in this situation, you only want to lose one of the three, not all three.
That's a fact. Well, Ed Morrissey called it has to be his last time out, I would imagine. I guess it doesn't have to be, but anyhow, I think it's his third time out. We don't keep track of things like that. Just the little things, TJ.
Exactly. Exactly right. I think in Pleasant Valley's case here, what you hope for is a pass interference call.
Yep.
You get up and you hope for another one, and you get up and hope for a third one, and maybe you get a field goal.
Yeah,
off.
that's.
Other than that, it's really going to be tough for a Pleasant Valley team that really just doesn't have a whole lot of gas left in the tank.
I think you're right, and Bettendorf's. I'll tell you what, Bettendorf's going to have the goalies back a long ways here.
They sure. I hate to close the coffin too soon, Coach, but
yep,
if this does end 10-7, it's almost the mirror image of what we saw last week.
Yep.
And once again, a credit to the MAC competition and how the teams play hard for an entire game, all 4 quarters.
All right, Mauser's back, and we got. I thought I saw a flag fly, and that's probably going to be a holding call on top of everything else.
Exactly.
And Mauser lost yardage, and the clock shows no time left, TJ.
I think that's the last play, Coach. That was a long developing play. Got sacked to the 2 with a holding call. That's insult on the injury, and just a very tough fourth quarter for Pleasant Valley.
Excuse me. Yes, it is, and we'll see. There must be.
Looks like we have one more play here, Coach.
There's still a penalty flag laying down there, isn't there? Or is that just a pad off of maybe a yellow pad?
I think that's a penalty flag. I saw it as well.
All right.
I haven't seen too many towels, and looks like there's a rule against terrible towels. I'm not up to date on that.
Yeah, they are if they're too colored. I believe
there you go.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's a yellow towel from Bettendorf. Yeah, there you go. The referee's picking up the flag there.
Okay. So I don't know what that. I still don't know what that flag was all about. I probably some kind of penalty with a decline by Bettendorf. It's going to bring up second down, and that's kind of that's not relevant here anyway because of the time on the clock. It's got to be less than 5 seconds. Now they're going to have to run it down, so we got a minute here just to reminisce a little bit.
I agree, and right now for Pleasant Valley, you just hope the Stanford band comes onto the field, and I don't mean that in a disrespecting way to Pleasant Valley, because they fought for 3 quarters and really controlled this game from top to bottom. They just, I believe they just ran out of gas, and you can't fault the kids for that at all. And credit Bettendorf to staying patient. They're really being dominated for 3 quarters out of the football game. Their defense showed up in the 4th. Their offensive line took control of the game, and Seth Holmes, we talked about Eisenlauer and Ryan Herrig, three key skill guys that came up with big plays. I think you're right. I think patience really is a key word here. Bettendorf very patient, just kind of methodically moved it down the field. They really did. And we talked about the line of scrimmage that was established by Pleasant Valley's offensive line, but after the first drive, even though they moved the ball from 20 to 20, really weren't able to take it in the final 20 yards. So that too in and of itself is a huge key.
All right. And the intended receiver fell down, and that's going to be. Now wait a minute. The clock shows 1 second here, so let's see.
That was a slant route here to the left, Coach, and I don't know if the receiver got his feet tangled up with a Bettendorf defender, but I don't know if a slant route's going to give you what you need right here. To me, I think you have to throw it up and hope for pass interference
throw
calls.
It up and hope for a pass interference. And it's certainly not a good situation.
No,
1 second to go, 1 tick of the clock, 10-7. Bettendorf just taking the lead here with 33 seconds to go in the game. Mauser's back, throws the look in, and the life probably supposed to be a little flea flicker there. I don't think it got executed.
I think it was a slant instead of the hook and lateral. I think it was a slant lateral, and the receiver just couldn't get his hands on it, control it soon enough to pitch it. Great play by Bettendorf defense, and what a fourth quarter by Bettendorf.
It surely was. I'll tell you what, that's a good ball game. Two teams really beat on each other, and sometimes that's the way it gets. Let me recap the scoring here in the game with 11:56 to go in the second quarter. Pleasant Valley's J.R. Cunnert on a 2-yard dive scored, and the point after touchdown by Thomason was good, making a 7-0. With 2:32 to go in the second quarter, Justin Langen came with a 19-yard field goal for Bettendorf making the score at halftime 7-3. And there was no scoring in the second half at all until the last 33 seconds of the game. And Eric Holmes dropped back and hit Leisenauer with that pretty little pass there over the middle, little curl. And they scored a touchdown, and a point after was good, making the score 10-7. Bettendorf victory just like that.
Oh, great, well-fought game. We talked about earlier the fatigue on Pleasant Valley, the dominance of the Bettendorf offensive line, and the skill players coming up big in the fourth quarter. And to me, Coach, that's a huge win. Not only are you at home for Bettendorf, but also get you 1-1 in conference.
You bet.
And Pleasant Valley could have taken a major step in their run to repeat as conference champions by going 2-0 with a win at Bettendorf, which is huge and very tough to do. Instead, Bettendorf fights off a first-week false start at Burlington and comes back and evens their record to 1-1.
You bet. And a hard-fought win for Bettendorf, and equally hard-fought loss for Pleasant Valley. Like you said, both these teams are now 1-1, and we'll go into this week's schedule and see what happens. Well, I think we'll wind it up now for TCI Channel 38 and Family Ties Productions. This is Jess Medina on camera, and TJ Rubley, quarterback of the Rhine Fire, or MVP World League, and Cy Robinson just hanging around here. And we've had fun tonight. Great ball game. Again, Bettendorf able to pull it out 10-7 here at Tuville Stadium. And thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.